Okay, welcome everybody. I'm just showing you the old tracker here. Now, the old tracker we use to keep information about bugs with ClearOS. And it was quite limited in that the bugs that we created here were kind of on this island of bugs, and our development was in another area. Since we moved our development over to GitLab, there's an issues section in GitLab that will let us create issues. The old tracker was quite limited. If you wanted to have access to it, you'd have to have special permissions. We would, ask you like a community member to go ahead and to have a separate login here on the bug tracker, and it was difficult for just the average community member to say, hey, I found a bug, this is what the bug is, this is where the bug is, and go from there. It was also much more difficult for community members to suggest code or to do things like that. And now with GitLab, you can create a merge request and we can take in that merge, and you can create a bug and we can take that bug in as well. And while that's been available for some time, because we've done the bug issues on this older tracker, we've not been able to get the information they want. So let's go over to GitLab here, and you're going to need to create an account if you don't have one already. Go ahead and sign in to GitLab. So you can use any of these methods, Google, GitHub, Twitter, Bitbucket, in order to sign in to create an account, so you don't have to remember yet another username or login, or just create a standard account in GitLab. So I'm going to sign in here. Okay, so I'm signed into my own personal GitLab account, and from here I will be able to do my own projects. This is where you'd create merge requests and fork specific parts of ClearOS. But here I'm going to go and log into ClearOS by appending the word ClearOS to the end of the URL. So just gitlab.com/ClearOS will get you to this section. Here you can see we've got the different issues that are available on ClearOS, and this is where you can start submitting issues. So let's say, for instance, you were having an issue with registration. Now you need to be able to determine whether or not you're having an issue with registration that is a bug, or an issue with registration that is just a support issue. So come over here to the app-registration, and here you'll be able to create an issue associated with that. Click on issues and click on new issue, and from here you'll be able to create a new issue. And I'm going to create one here called test issue with registration. And you can go ahead and write something about this particular bug. Now it's super important that you know the difference between a support issue and a bug. A support issue is something where you're having difficulty and you are running into a problem, you can't get through it, and it may have to do with your knowledge about the thing. If it doesn't work, if it's not working for you, if it has problems registering, if you're getting an error, for example, those are all support issues. Support issues you should be filing as a ClearCare ticket if you have support with ClearCenter, or you should be filing those with the community. And those are quite different than bugs. Bugs are something where you're either a developer and you kind of know what's going on, or you can point the blame to something that's very specific. Oftentimes, community members who are very familiar with ClearOS will know exactly why it is that something is broken. If that is the case, then you have a bug. When in doubt, it's a support issue and ask the community. And if the community feels it's a bug, they will often volunteer to file it as a bug for you. That is because they would know the difference between what the bug and a support issue is. If you end up submitting support issues to the portal here on GitLab, you're talking to a different set of people than you would if you were talking to support issues. And you may get redirected and say, that sounds like a support issue. Go ahead and file a support issue. Generally speaking, bugs are something that have gone the rounds as a support issue and can be pointed to a specific thing, like a new release came out and now something's broken, or there is a particular set of code or a line of code, or there's this general improvement. Generally, you're going to know where in the code you have it. So I'm going to finish this report out as a test issue. You can attach files. Markdown is also something you can do your issue in. If you know the Markdown language, you can make your bug look very, very nice. If you have a new project, for example, you can also submit that as an issue. Say, for instance, you went through, you followed some how-tos, and you figured out how to get a piece of software working under ClearOS, and you kind of want to start the process of turning that software into a full-blown app in the marketplace. This would be a great place for integrators who aren't developers to go ahead and post their things that they have been working on in efforts to try to get a group of people together, programmers and integrators, to create a new app in the marketplace. So go ahead and fill that out and then click submit, and then that issue will be submitted. Oh, it's also important that if the issue is a bug or something that has a security risk associated to it, you may not want to telegraph that publicly. So if there is a problem with ClearOS that could compromise systems, go ahead and check that box here. This issue is confidential, and that way only the developers can see it. Okay, we're going to move on. I have my test issue now, and it is good to go. Now, if you look over on this side, you'll see different parameters that will be assigned to your issue. Milestones, that associates things with a particular version of ClearOS. And a developer will tag something as a milestone if they intend to fix it with a generational release, for example, of ClearOS that is coming out. And so that's kind of where you'll know where your bug is going to get attention. There's also labels that can be attached by a developer. Here you can see them in the lists, the different issues. The boards, you can see issues that are open, ones that are closed, and of course we talked about the labels and the milestones. So that is issues in a nutshell. Lastly, if you don't know where a particular bug should be filed, then you can come back here to the main screen and you can file it under the feature request section. So feature requests are for new features that people believe that they want with ClearOS. We can manage those things there. This is also where you can put bugs that you don't know where they go. Then a developer can actually move the issue to the project that it needs to go to. Feature requests are a great place to put things that you feel are missing within ClearOS and some of those features that you want to see in ClearOS. It's also a great place, like I said, for bugs that are unknown. Anyway, that about wraps it up for today. Thank you for watching.